Hey, what's everybody? We're doing a comic book hangout. We're talking about SummerSlam. Obviously, I got my friend Paul Gomez here, and I got Kevin Davis. We are not related. I want to make that crystal clear. Me and Kevin are definitely not related. But I do believe, and I will stand by this, that the Davises collectively were at one point a united tribe somewhere in the world at some point, and then we all separated. And who
So
knows,
we
maybe
could be related somehow. So
I'm just saying, if we went far enough back, I'm sure we are.
yeah.
But that's just my thought on the issue here.
Yeah.
If somebody has to prove me wrong, I'm taking the affirmative here. But obviously, we're breaking down SummerSlam. But before we get into that, I figured I'd let you two introduce who you are really quickly before we get into the whole interesting debacle of SummerSlam that is occurring per se.
Kevin, go ahead.
Oh, well, I'm Kevin Davis. I'm a comic creator, author, entrepreneur, and I have way too many hats to explain. And that's a whole different other rant. Um, but I'm also a wrestling fan, and this is going to be an interesting topic because I have thoughts about SummerSlam. But we'll get to that in a second.
My name's Paul Gomez. I'm a writer and creator of a few comics. I did PTSD in my flagship comic, Bushi Boo Circuit Mysteries. I am a wrestling fan, and that's why I'm here to help talk about wrestling.
Right. So let's get into this, right? So before we get into this, I'll say this openly. I don't think WWE is in a dumpster fire. And I might be the minority here. I don't think it's necessarily good. I think it's average at best, right? And the reason why I say that, and the reason how I usually judge all this, and this is my scale, is that everything starts off at a 5 or a 6, and then it goes down from there. So the fact that WWE puts on a show automatically starts off at average. The show can go down or it can go up from there, but it starts off at average. And I think SummerSlam is going to be a 6 or a 7. That's just my take on it. I don't think it's going to be a 10. I think the last 10 we ever had was WrestleMania 40 in
Yeah.
a pay-per-view. Both nights were all, I think 40 was the Cody Rhodes winning the title, right?
Yep.
Um,
Yep.
and then it was 41 Cena and Cody Rhodes.
Yep.
That was pretty good too. I think that was like an 8 or a 9, that match in particular, because the payoff was excellent. But we're not going to get into that. The reason why I say that is that to me is the standard. But I do think that it's going to be like a 6 or a 7 at best. But having said that, I'm just curious before we get in and break down matches, what you two think coming into this, because I'm a little bit more optimistic than maybe other people are.
With me, I try to stay optimistic most of the time. But I'm kind of like the same agreement with the same opinion as you because it can start out as like a 6 and either go down or up. I don't think WWE's in a dumpster fire, but I think they're lacking in a lot of areas. Um, like I grew up with WWE like my entire life, but like you said, it has not been a 10 for a while, and I really think it's just like they recycle the same people put in the spotlight, and I'm like I want some fresh blood, and I feel like I want to be excited for this SummerSlam, but at the same time I'm like it's okay, looks okay to me. I'm like, but we got some fresh blood. We got some fresh blood on the show. So I'm like, I'm a bit more optimistic compared to other PLEs. Since we got like Last Legend up there, we got Ober up there. So I'm like in between. So I think it might be a 6 or a 7, or at least I want it to be. I'm not expecting it to be like a perfect PLE because nothing's perfect. But I'm at least going in like being entertained, hoping some stories pay off and create some new stories. You know what I mean? So I'm really like in between moods about the show. So it's especially with 2 nights. I'm saying, okay, so is night one gonna be better than night two, or night two actually be better than night one? But it's like, or will both nights be good? So I was like, well, we'll see. So
Well, I don't know. I think I'm going to be in the minority here. I mean, I hear what y'all are saying, but here's my thing. I don't believe any PLE starts on a 5. I want to give them the benefit of the doubt and say they do, but to me in wrestling, just like building a comic, it's about storytelling. And whenever you go into PLE, you have to already be going into the story. And I gotta say that I don't feel excited about any of the stories except one. And we're talking about 2 nights. I don't know the number of matches. Let's say 15. Let's say 8. I hadn't counted. But let's say 8 or 10. And if I'm only excited about one,
it's 12.
It's 12. Okay.
Okay, it is. So, okay.
So
Yeah.
if I'm only excited about one going in, I can't give it a 5 because they should have actually had story going into it, hyped up about stuff. Which match are y'all excited about going into? Because honestly, I can only think of one. Everything else is mid or below mid. So I can't give it a 5 already in.
For
So
me,
I can give you 2. I can give you 2, but you go first.
Out of 12?
Yeah,
I'm it's a failing grade. It's a failing grade, no question about it. I mean, I'm not here to say we're passing you. I want to make that crystal clear. But I can give
you a 5 going in, and you're only excited about 2 of the 12 matches. The one thing that Kevin said is you're happy about some of the new blood, and I am too. But again, 12 matches.
It still feels
like
lackluster though.
Three new people that are in there. They could have done more.
Yeah. I'm excited. I'm actually excited for Penta and Cable, and hoping Cable actually wins this time. And I'm actually excited to see the Hell in a Cell match, if I'm being honest, with Oba and Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
I was like, Roman and Seth, it's been done 1,000 times now. So I was like, even though it's like the end of the story, they should have ended a couple years ago at their Warrior Rumble. Like you could have left it right there and do something new. So I was like, they drew that out way too much for me. So I can't say I'm excited for that, but but I'll be happy when it finally ends. But my 2 matches is Cable and Penta and Brock and Oba for in the Hell in a Cell. I was like, also I am excited for the women's match too, but it would have been better if it was actually for the actual title and not an interim. Yeah. That's why I didn't really name that as my excitement one.
This is where I'm at, right? So I am excited for Penta Gable. I think that's going to be fascinating because the guy's coming off of that amazing match in AAA, which was a WrestleMania caliber match.
Fantastic. That match was fantastic.
What's crazy about that was free. That's what was even crazier, right? I think people forget that you had an amazing match.
Because that was on YouTube, wasn't it? That was on YouTube, right?
On YouTube.
So I'm relatively free, right? I mean, nothing is 100% free. I mean, you need electricity and internet to watch it, but for the most part, you have to pay for it, right? So amazing match, amazing story. Everything you wanted in that was absolutely amazing in that. So that was free, and he's coming off of that, and great match. And I mean, he was just owning it for the last 2 years, give or take, this whole journey. So it almost seemed like a demotion, but that payoff was golden with him.
Well, year and a half, 2 years, I think. Yeah.
The buildup was so you're talking about that match, which I think was easily the match of the year. Perfect buildup, perfect match.
Oh yeah.
Interference, all this stuff. The length of it was great. So that leads me to believe that they can do it. But why haven't they done it again? To me, I want to see the Penta Gable match, but the thing about it is, did they build it up enough? No. Is it as exciting as that match? Nowhere near it. So to me, that's a 5 at the moment.
That's
but
fair.
Like I said, all the rest of them kind of dropped down that score for me. I'm at a 4 at the moment.
Oba versus Brock is an easy home run. It's a layup, right? I mean, we're going to use basketball terms. It's a layup. No problem.
That match has actually been building up. So that one, that's why I'm actually excited for that one because that's actually been building up.
That's the only one. That's the only one I'm there. But to me, it's starting to get to that point where it's overdone.
Yeah. Okay.
And I'm hoping that this is going to be more than a 2 or 3 minute squash match. Because if it is,
Yeah.
then it's gonna let me. The only match that I'm looking for is gonna let me down if they do that.
So,
But again,
and then the other match that I'm excited to see is the Bella Twins and Paige versus Fatal Influence, and I'll tell you why. Because
Oh my God, I forgot that match is on there. Jesus
I
Christ.
I, I think I think
completely
that
forgot.
match is going to be better than people are going to give it credit for. I think this has been a really nice feud, right? And
Mhm.
granted, I'm not saying it's a super great feud, and it's not like where we're. I mean, but I think it's a solid mid card feud, and I think it's been built up nicely. I really do. I think it's a pretty good match, and I think it's going to be a lot better than people realize because JC Jane's killing it, Laney Reed's killing it. Henley's killing it, and then you got the Bella Twins and Paige, and it's kind of, I think it's a solid match because you really do have veterans versus the new kids on the block.
And
And I think it's a cool match.
and
I think it's
and
a
I
really good job by WWE. I really do think it is.
yeah, Bella and Brie and Paige are probably going to lose. Do you think Nikki's going to turn on Paige?
I think
so
there's going to be a turning. I think it's going to be the both of them turning on Paige going.
Yeah,
here's the
that's
reason that I'm
yeah.
not excited about that match.
Well, you kind of can see that coming a bit.
It's 3-on-3.
Yeah,
I mean, does that really matter that much? It's 3-on-3. On top of that, I don't think they built it up more than a week or two. I mean, I could be wrong, but was it really that well built up?
I
Again, a
was
3-on-3 with nothing at stake.
well,
Are you really excited about that?
I just like the fact that it's the old NXT to a degree, but Paige is like
yeah,
the original NXT girl versus
Oh,
the
I
new
love
NXT bring ups.
love-
And that
that's fair. Yeah,
what did I say?
Oh, I was saying I love Paige. Don't get me wrong. I want to watch the match, but me, I'm not
yeah,
excited about.
that's fair. Yeah,
I'm excited to watch
I
it.
thought you were making a point. I'm sorry. I thought that I'm sorry. I missed the point there. Right. I'm sorry. I thought, but the point I'm trying to make is that I like the fact that it's kind of the old versus the new guard, right? And I feel we talk about new blood coming in. I mean, sure, we've seen Fatal Influence in NXT for the last year and a half, but now they're finally on the main roster, which means they're not new to the WWE universe, but they're new to the big leagues. And so I feel like this is an opportunity to give these three women kind of the bull and the jump start. And if we want new blood, you got to get the old veterans to put over the new kids, right? And I think it's going to be a feather in the cap. And then if you want a good division, I mean, that's just how I feel, right? And so that's why I think the match, whether you're excited or not excited for it, I think, it's going to have a good result in the long run for new blood. But I could be wrong. I could be wrong on that, but that's just what I think. So that's why I'm excited for that match because I think it's going to be useful.
Yeah, like I said, I don't see that match going above a 5. It's a 3-on-3. Have you ever seen anybody come out of a 3-on-3 and actually make a name for themselves? I mean, if they do, then I'm all for it. But I don't see that match being more than mid.
I don't
that's
know,
fair.
Matt Knowles. You know Kevin, right?
What's up, man? Hey, I had to find.
Oh shoot, you
I could
got
only
Matt up
find
in
one
here
of my.
too.
I could only find one of my lemon pepper steppers, so I had to. That's why I was delayed. So I found both of them. Now I'm here.
You
Awesome.
got my big brother Matt up in here. Oh Lord. Oh, now it's
No,
a real
we're-
party.
we're
You got
just
the
talking
Matt up
about
in here.
matches. All the matches. We didn't get to anything important though yet. Kind of.
Right.
The recap is that I say every pay-per-view starts off out of 5, and then we go up or down on the scale of 10. And I think it's going to be a 6 or a 7 is where we're at. And we were talking about what matches we're excited for, and then we're breaking down the matches. So I don't know if you have an opinion on that also, but we were talking about Fatal Influence, and I'm excited for that.
So, Fatal Influence.
Sorry to
I'm
interrupt.
actually. I will say this. I'm a big fan of heel females in WWE. I've always been. I was a huge fan of Tiffany Stratton coming up through NXT. Always been a huge fan of Chelsea Green. I was really glad that they brought up Fatal Influence as an entire group, and they didn't try to break them up or do something different with them when they moved them. Like they worked in NXT, bring the whole group up. I don't know. I don't know if they even need to win that match to continue kind of moving forward. But I'm excited for that just because I want to see them continue to develop that group and see where they're going to take them.
So I took the position that
You're
you have
incorrect.
the old guard versus the new guard. So the new kids are Fatal Influence. They've been in NXT for a while, is what I was saying before you logged in. And then what happens is that you have the old guard and the old veterans, and old veterans have to put over the new kids to a degree so that they get some type of establishment. Because we were speaking about how that people are getting sick and tired of all the old people still being in WWE, and there's no new superstars. This is a new superstar faction, and you gotta give them the ball to roll with. I mean, that's just how I feel. So whether the match is good, bad, or if it's a 5 or a 7, if they go over and they win, they are the new blood, the new spark in the women's division to a degree. And, if you get sick and tired of seeing the same people over and over again, well, this is how you get new blood in there. So that's why I think it's interesting. And that's just my opinion on it, because I want the product to be better. Now, this could fail, by the way. Completely, it could be a disaster. But I think the theory of what I'm saying makes sense. Or at least I would like to see that. Whether it happens or it doesn't, who knows?
Well, one of the things that Paul was saying, I think he was saying as I was kind of logging into the background, where you don't really see a lot of people get over in a 6-man. The one thing you do see in a 6-man is you can have the top dogs take pinfalls in a 6-man and have it not hurt their singles or their tag team ability. So I think it makes it where there's a lot more of a chance of the old guard taking a pin and having it have no impact whatsoever on their forward movement, but it gives Fatal Influence a chance to be able to be like, look, I pinned you such and such, I did this, and kind of helps them to get over without hurting the establishment.
I do agree. I mean, I agree that it does help a little bit of a build-up. I don't think it puts a lot of build-up. There's not really much at stake here.
Right.
If it does give them a push, to me, again, it's going to be an average push. This match, I don't think, can get above a 5 for me. If you had something at stake, then that would be worth watching it. But it's, to me, going to be mid. I don't think they really did that good of a build-up for it. And that was really my point, is going into the pay-per-views, build-up really matters. And to me, this build-up hasn't been that great. I don't think. It's been
I agree with you.
Because literally the match was made a week ago when Nikki Bella came back from injury, and then like, okay, now we got a match, and like that was it. So it's like there's really no build up to it whatsoever.
No belt.
Because honestly, I was actually expecting a tag team title match between like Brie and Paige versus the Fatal Influence. I wasn't expecting Nikki to come back at all yet. And then she comes back randomly and says, "Are we going to fight you bitches at SummerSlam?" I was like, "Okay, that's it." Like, what? It's like, okay, now we have a 6-woman tag match. Like, really? That's it? Like, okay. But it's like I'm one of those viewers that wants to be like very optimistic about everything, because I'm an easygoing person, but when I start, my writer brain just clicks very fast now. Since I became a professional writer, I was like, I can't be that optimistic person no more because I have to be real about it. And so I'm like, WWE is not a dumpster fire yet, but it has been lacking a lot of build up, a lot of stories. And some stories they should have did a different turn than what they did, like with the Jacob Fatu thing. People say Jacob should have won. I'm saying, honestly, I actually agree, because that would have been something different with the Bloodline story, but it kind of feels recycled. And now we're back to Roman versus Seth for like the 1,000th time now. And like watching the episodes leading to their match, I was like, I read through that. I already went through that period. You now have to re-show me everything we went through for the past 13 freaking years. I know what happened. I saw it. You might be doing it for the new viewers, but they can go on YouTube and see it. Like, come on, guys. Like, we get it, but this should have ended at the Warrior Rumble a couple years ago. We should have stopped it right there and do something fresh. But of course, Triple H likes to draw out like everything for some odd reason, and he draws out too much at times. So I was like, that's why I'm like, I'm not really that excited for Roman and Seth. I'm like, I'm just ready for it to end completely. I'm like, I get the emotional aspect, talking about the new kids coming to push you guys out. I was like, cool. I'm still not that excited for the match. I'm just ready for this to
I
freaking
love
end.
women's wrestling a lot.
Oh, that's freaking cool. That's freaking cool. That's actually pretty freaking cool.
This is like one of the WWE comics, and it's
that's
the Four
freaking
Horsewomen and the Bella Twins on it, graded in a 9.8.
Hell yeah.
So I just want to flaunt
yeah.
that. I just want to flaunt that. Every time I get to flaunt this, I was having a bad day, like almost 10 years ago, and I bought this way below value, way
Heck
below
yeah.
value.
Nice.
And I was having a bad day. And once I tell everybody how much I paid for it, I'll let you all guess how much I paid for that book. We could all go around and
how many years ago? How many years ago did you buy it?
Probably about 8 years ago.
I'll say $20. Actually, is that a CGC or is that just, did you put it in a hard shell?
Oh no, it's a CGC book.
Oh, $100.
It's 2017. So
I'll say $200. $200.
$250 for that book.
Oh, it's close. Wow.
Signatures authenticated, all in the same place. So all of it, as you can see on that, I don't know if anybody can see that or read it. I'm sorry if you can't, but it's a yellow label. It's not JSA. Nice. $250 for that book. So
and what's it valued at now?
The last Raw one sold for $1,800.
Holy crap, man! Good stuff.
Wow.
So the reason why, and the story behind that book, is that you had to buy the book, and then those 6 women were all signing in the same area. So you bought the book, and it was an auction essentially where you bought the book, from the Mattel booth essentially, and the Boom Studios, whatever. It was like a collab booth at San Diego Comic-Con. And what happened there is, and then you were entered into an auction to have it signed. And only 3 people basically brought CGC to have it signed for free by those 6 women. So that's the whole story, because they all signed at the exact same time. So that's what makes the book special, where the book could be replicated, but it's a pain in the ass to do it. And those 6 women are probably never, ever going to be in the same table at the exact same time ever again. It's really, I mean, I don't want to ever say never, but it's going to be difficult. But enough about that, because since we're talking about Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins, I have an opinion about that. Here's what I didn't like.
Night 2, right?
What?
Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, that's going to be the main.
Yeah, that's the main event for night 2.
Here's what I didn't like about that. We have Saturday night main event. We have Jalen Brunson coming out with Roman Reigns. Perfectly fine. I get it. The Knicks won the championship. Makes complete sense. Then, obviously, the Knicks have an issue with Tyrese Halliburton. He comes out, and we've already done this between Jalen Brunson and Tyrese Halliburton. I think in the Garden, might I add, with chairs and everything. And then we have Jalen Brunson in this, and we're making Seth Rollins the bad guy, which I don't really get that vibe, because that's how it came out in Madison Square Garden, the whole Tyrese Halliburton thing. And I'm looking at this and I'm like, this is just not working for me, because I don't believe it. And that's my problem. I don't believe the fight between these 2 guys. I just don't believe it.
Well, let's look at some of the biggest things that WWE has tried to do since the Netflix era started. We're going to have The Rock become the big bad, and nobody really wanted to believe it. And then The Rock completely falls off the face of the planet, and you get the nonsense that happened at WrestleMania last year.
Ugh.
Then you have the John Cena heel turn, and it was a great heel turn when it happened, but nobody wanted it, and it was not believable in any possible way, and it fell flat on its face. And
off the planet.
Yeah, and then you look at this. I feel like there's some definite serious problems at the top of the card. I find myself much more interested in the lower card, what's happening in AAA, what's happening on NXT, what's happening with the people that have just moved up. Things like Big Cass coming back on Monday. I'm much
Yeah.
more excited about stuff like this, or El Grande Americano versus El Grande Americano, which was match of the year. Best match. I don't think any
Fantastic.
match is even going to come close to that. I just think there's a real big problem
So-
because of TKO wanting to treat the main event like it's boxing and it's UFC over and over and over again. It's like, hey, this is wrestling. You don't need to have that boxing style main event. I think they push too hard for those big names because they want that big marketing money all across the world.
So
I think makes some of those main events fall
I'm
apart.
gonna challenge a little bit.
Challenge it.
I thought the John Cena heel turn through WrestleMania and the Netflix, I think it's been the most successful thing that they have done on a big level, right? Now, I'm not saying it was perfect, and then it did fall flat on its face, and they should have ended it better. There could have been, they just off-ramped it. It's kind of like you almost miss your exit on the highway and you got to get off, and that's what it was, for lack of a better word. So I think if they went into Survivor Series, or somehow he went in as the heel with Cody, and at the end of the match, he realized his errors and he turned face at the end of that match, more like they sometimes do on an indie level, the off-ramp to that would have been lessened. So they completely screwed the off-ramp on that. But I don't think the heel turn.
Yeah.
I think Elimination's heel turn. I think Cena was last year, right? So I think the heel turn at that was great at Elimination Chamber. I thought it was an amazing payoff.
Oh, his heel turn was great. How they went after the heel turn was what was not good.
Going
fell
into
off.
Mania was great. After Mania was great. The CM Punk thing wasn't horrific, but all the way the off ramp killed the thing because you had it down and you had the crowd into it. And when he said, "I'm leaving with this belt," and and I'm not coming back, and I still think it would have been much better if he left, and then he turned face, and then the whole Intercontinental title. But this is like a whole different discussion. But the point is that I agree with the fact that the big money stuff. So like Jalen Brunson on Saturday Night Main Event, that to me was wrestling 101. You have a championship Nick team that hasn't won a championship in 53 years in the Garden, and it's coming. Of course, you're going to have Jalen Brunson there. That didn't detract from wrestling for me. That is the definition of wrestling because it's a perfect match. That whole thing of just him coming out with Roman Reigns. And even Roman Reigns' speech, I thought, was perfectly fine. Like, that, to me, worked. But
that wasn't a problem so much as the fact that they did it more than once that night. If you want to bring the Knicks in because they won the championship, that's fine. If you want to bring him in with the champion, which was Roman Reigns, that's fine too. But the fact that they did it twice that night and they kind of centered the show around it, that was the problem.
I didn't have a problem with the cat thing. I thought the cat thing was hilarious. I really thought that was great. But
if you want to do one, that's fine. You do it one per night, one per show. That's fine. But again, they centered the whole thing.
You know why Cat was involved in that, right? You know the real reason, right? The real story, supposedly in the rumor mill is that Cat was hunting down that patch of John Cena's card, and he was in a bid, and he lost that bid, and he was so pissed off, and he lost to Randy Orton one, and so Cat is a huge wrestling fan, more than Brunson. So,
I mean, again, like I said, that was the bad thing about that night. The thing about the Reigns versus Seth Rollins is like it's just been so watered down and done so much, and it doesn't really have any oomph to it.
I'll tell you what I think, right? So remember when Triple H faced Batista? I think it was a WrestleMania, and they were almost settling their differences, and it was an evolution settling between Triple H and Batista at a WrestleMania a while ago.
Mm-hmm.
And then you had Ric Flair in there, and then Shawn Michaels was on commentary, but he wasn't involved in the match. So the only way this match would make any goddamn sense, in my opinion, is if you had Dean Ambrose as the special guest referee. And
or have Dean Ambrose just have an opportunity to come back, which is not going to happen. But
again, I'm just saying this is the only way it makes sense, because then it's a Shield issue. right? And it's settling the Shield and ending it. And it's like, but this is the last match you do for WrestleMania between these two guys. You don't do this shit at SummerSlam when there's really nothing to be gained from it because they have nothing to fucking do. I'm very, very negative on this match. I'm sorry. Like, I hate to be hating two really, really talented wrestlers who have in many ways carried this company on their backs for the last 10 years. But it's idiocracy at its best.
And the worst thing about this, like y'all pointed out, who's the good guy and who's the bad guy? Seth Rollins is the bad guy. They kind of painted it that way, but kind of not at the same time. And that's what their problem's been. Not finishing stories, because the story that they did finish, the Grande Americano against Americano, was the best thing they ever did.
That was the best build up and best storytelling ever in wrestling. I still go back and watch that match again. It's so freaking good. Oh my god.
They drop all these build-ups and then they don't build up a good guy versus bad guy stuff. It's two good guys. Cody Rhodes versus CM Punk.
Dude, okay, that match right there really kind of ticked me off. I'm not gonna lie, because it felt that they give the title to Sammy just to lose it to CM Punk, who hasn't been around for 2 months, and then Cody comes and say win, and then CM Punk says win or whatever it was. Then Cody says SummerSlam. I was like, really? What was the point of Sammy winning? Then Cody could have just kept the freaking title, or do something different with Sammy with the title. Like, really, Triple H? And then the next few weeks they just talking. I'm like, Cody's kid. I'm like, that's been said 1,000 times over.
I thought it was brilliant.
And like, I done heard Cody say enough like 1,000 times in one freaking promo. I'm like, dude. I'm like, this is really just horrible to me.
I think what Andrew said. I don't like the fact they took the belt off Sammy so quick. However,
yeah,
I do like the fact that they made sure Sammy got to cut the promo that talked about for the rest of time, I can say that I was a WWE champion and I was this and I was that, so that they made sure that it was out there and could be said. And then they screwed him right after that. And I can tell you right now, one of my predictions is that Sammy is messing up that match tomorrow. You can either watch SmackDown tonight. He is going to involve himself. That is not going to be a clean finish match. Just like the freaking tag team match on SmackDown was tonight, where they brought freaking Haku back. And I'm like, where they brought Haku back and his sons, the sons of Haku, as they're called now, came in and screwed over that title for title match. And I'm like, we should see more stuff like that happen over SummerSlam this weekend.
I'm sure.
I was being facetious.
Fingers crossed.
I say I enjoyed that Sami Zayn got screwed purposely because, again, I understand why they did it, but it really wasn't necessary. But I also like the fact that Sami Zayn now does have a WWE Championship on his resume, though. I kind of feel like he earned that for everything that the guy has done. He's kind of earned the right to be a WWE champion, in my viewpoint. Just on the history records, regardless of what it means story-wise, it's kind of nice. It's kind of like John Cena's Intercontinental title in many ways. You got to give certain people it, right? We talk about this with Chelsea Green, right? She's got to win the fucking title at some point because Michael Hayes said it best. She is a king or a queen maker, depending on how we want to put this, where she makes everybody better in the ring. But you said it best. I think you said it, is that you also sometimes have to give the queen maker the title, every once in a while. I'm not saying you have to have a long run with Chelsea Green or with Sami Zayn, but
give her a chance, though. That's the thing. Let's give her a chance.
One title says would be great. Sorry, continue, please.
No, I'm just saying, just see where I was just agreeing, guys. See where the storylines build up. Give them a chance to have, new people, new quests, and all that. I like where Sammy's character is going right now because Sammy is not just the unhinged guy. He's the really unhinged, angry heel type guy, and I think he is believable as a heel right now, and I think that that's good. They've given him a reason to be a heel, and it's actually working.
Yeah. To me, I didn't really see Sammy as a heel. I think he's more of a face that's with an edge. That's kind of how I see him.
You see him more of a tweener?
Yeah.
Like a
I don't think he's a full-fledged. Exactly. Yeah. I don't even see him as a full heel just yet. But I think he's just one of those characters just fed up trying being like the kiss ass type of character. He's done kissing ass. He just wants what he deserves. And he honestly deserves an actual title reign. He worked his ass off this entire freaking time. So I'm hoping he actually do interfere in that match to progress the story and make it actually interesting. So it's
I
gonna
think
be very
Sammy's done
interesting.
good. I think Sammy's done good both as a heel and as a face. And
Mm,
I agree. I think he deserves a belt. I think it's reasonable to say that he could have had the belt if kept it if he had a little bit of help or something. But they just didn't want to do that. They just wanted to screw him and kind of bring out that heel factor of him, which I like. Don't get me wrong. I just don't like that they dropped the belt on him for 9 days only.
I mean, this is my question: is there an issue with Sami Zayn because the WWE goes into Saudi Arabia and other places internationally? And I know that Sami Zayn, I think he has, I think his nationality, and he's been outspoken about Syria and a bunch of other stuff, much like
mm.
Aleister Black. When with the tattoo, I don't think Aleister Black would have been allowed to wrestle in Saudi Arabia because of that tattoo on his back. So I'm wondering if that has something to do with it. And I hate to get political, but that could very well be that they wanted to do something. They just said we're going to do it, but we're going to take the belt off so that we get the best of both worlds. Like it sounds fucked up when you say it, but this is what goes on in these companies. I mean, but I don't even know if that was part of it, or if they just said we'll just give him 9 days so at least he has it on his resume.
Well,
Because
but didn't they give him the belt in Saudi Arabia, and he came out to like
They
the
did.
deafening pop coming out in their kind of garb and all that. And
They
so I
did.
think that I think they did it for that hometown pop in a sense.
Mhm.
yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know. I'm just throwing the idea out there because this is in play, in my opinion. I could be completely missing the point on it and on that thought process, but
And
that
I,
doesn't not cross my mind because
and also I
yeah.
also saw that somebody made a theory saying that what if they gave the title to Sammy as a thank you for taking a pay cut from TKO? That's another thing that people thought about.
So I
So,
mean, it's complicated. We don't know. I mean, it's a complicated company, but
yeah.
let's speak since we're on talking about Sami Zayn. Let's talk about Nick Aldis, or Magnus, as I like to call him, versus Gunther. And I don't know. I'm torn on this one because I love Nick. And I remember watching him early on in TNA when he was like up and coming, that Sting match, some other stuff. And the guy is great. I think he's an awesome GM. He's a believable GM, in my opinion, much like who's the GM on Raw? I can't think of his name.
Adam Pierce.
Adam Pierce.
Yeah, Adam Pierce is also. So I think WWE has done the smartest thing with both those guys as GMs because they're both excellent wrestlers, and they've both been in the business forever. And I think it's real. I like the idea when a GM gets in the ring, per se. I think it's an interesting story, but I don't really, and it's going to be fun to see Nick wrestle. Yeah, we've never seen him wrestle in WWE, but at the same time, do we really need to see this? And is this the best we got for Gunther? I
Yeah,
mean,
This
I can't see Gunther losing clean in any
I
way.
I can't either.
I can't see Gunther losing. They have been burying him so much that if he loses to Nick Aldis,
It would be
why even have him there?
it would taint his character if he actually loses to
no.
Nick.
We can all see Gunther losing to certain people, right? I mean, we're not saying
Yeah, but to
right.
Nick,
Not Nick Aldis.
The only thing I could see would be, and I don't think they're going to do it, and it's only ever really happened the one time in wrestling, which was the perfect double turn, the Bret Hart Stone Cold Steve Austin, where both people came into the match, one as a face, one as a heel, and it switched. The only thing I could potentially see if Aldis was to win would be them finding a way to do a double turn where Gunther legitimately gets screwed, Aldis becomes a heel, and Gunther becomes a face in some scenario. I don't think they're going to do that, but that's the only way I'd see Gunther losing and having it be something that would be be possible. I don't think they've got it in them to do that, but that's the only way I could see it happening.
Dude, if Gunther becomes a face, I would be so weird. It'll be so weird for me to watch him as a face. I'm so used to hating you.
Well,
but you're a freaking.
you know what though? It can happen because you know how it can happen. Just look at El Grande Americano, the biggest lucha libre wrestler in Mexico right now. How is this possible? I have no freaking idea.
Yeah, because of that great match.
That would be interesting. And funny thing is,
they built him up as a bad guy and a career ender. If you see him right now, that's just crazy. I mean, I hope they do something because to me, him in this match is just a go to the restroom, take a break, to the kitchen kind of match. I don't even know why they have it.
They got to fill up 2 nights. That's why.
That's why it's so much
match. They brought out Grayson Waller on NXT, and that's the biggest thing right now. They could have had him do something. They have
Grayson Waller
off of the match. They could have had him do something. But you got this match that didn't matter, that nobody really cares about, and that the only thing you can do is bury Gunther. Why would you want to do that to him?
Grayson Waller promo on NXT was by far the best promo I've heard in a while.
That's the best promo on NXT in a long time.
It was. I want to watch NXT more often now.
I did.
Man, when he freaking ran down the entire men's locker room, I was like, dang, man.
Yeah.
I was like, but the thing is, he's not wrong. I actually have to give it to him. He's not wrong. I said, I can't disagree with the dude.
It took a lot of balls to do that promo. It took a lot of balls to do that promo. And however he got that thing approved, if he got it approved, or if he just shot his mouth off.
It's NXT, so I am sure he got it approved.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Shawn Michaels approved it anyway. So.
But you know what is? I don't know if they knew what type of pop it was going to get because it got a good pop. And it made a lot of people. I don't think they knew the reaction they were going to get. It was a very positive reaction. I mean, he's obviously the heel, but it was a positive reaction in wrestling.
I would consider that as Grayson was official pipe bomb because he was telling the truth, honestly.
Oh yeah, for sure. So Andrew, I'm kind of surprised, man, seeing you come onto the show that you don't have your bowling ball necklace on. I mean, your Obafemi necklace on, man. You know, I fully expected you to be coming here, you know, doing this. Come on, man.
I had a rough night with the Dallas Wings tonight, so but Caitlin Clark is back, bouncing me back. So
dude, I was watching some of them before I jumped on here, man, and her and Sophie Cunningham there, dude, I love that duo, man.
I don't know, you see my Sophie Cunningham card that I got, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So that thing sold out in 20 seconds, and there's 10 of them in the world. And it's an auto, and I bought 3 out of the 10, so I want to make that crystal clear here. And the fact that I got 3, it's crazy. Sold 2 of them, for a good evaluation. I probably undersold them, but I made some good money on it. So and I'm happy about it. So the 2 paid for the 3 plus another $200 in profit. So. I'm not greedy. I'm ecstatic because it's going to pay for the grading for that card. But I digress. But yes, but the Fever are destroying the Fire. But if you didn't know that by now, I don't know what to tell you. It was a pretty safe bet to take that one.
So back to Oba and Brock. What do you think about Oba and Brock, man? What do you think is going to be the outcome of this?
Before you came on, we was asking. He asked us our favorite match that we most looking forward to. Oba and Brock is actually one of my matches I'm looking forward to. And Paul brought up a good point, saying he hopes it's not like a 3 to 4 minute squash match. I want a full-fledged Hell in a Cell match. Make the Hell in a Cell dangerous again, especially with these 2 monsters. We need to make it dangerous again.
If it's 3 to 4 minutes, they are wasting Hell in the Cell. They need to make it. But here's the thing. We all know what this match is going to end up as. And that's fine with me. Oba has to win this match clean because that is what he needs to propel himself. Brock, and I mean like behind the scenes, non-kayfabe, Brock is working with Oba. Brock is mentoring Oba.
One-on-one, yeah.
He knows Oba. Everybody knows Oba is the next big thing, and so they could milk it over across 3 different pay-per-views to have this match. This match has to be Oba winning clean. We all know Oba's going to win clean, but that does not mean that this is not the most anticipated match of both nights, I believe, across the cards.
And be honest, I hope that was the main event because I feel like that match is more of a main event than Roman himself.
It's going to be interesting. So also what's going on is that Brock can't do certain things due to having part of, I think, his colon removed. So if you look at the matches where Oba was hitting Brock, he was avoiding certain things. So it's going to be very interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. If you go through the Mania match and a few other matches, the 2 they had before, they were avoiding certain things. So, it's going to be very interesting how they do certain things, what they do. So Brock can go through a table. There's a reason why you can't put Brock against Gunther, because Gunther, if he keeps kicking him or chopping him in certain areas, he could legitimately kill Brock. I don't even mean that to hyperbolic. Seriously, if you hit Brock in certain areas a few times, you can legitimately burst open essentially his artificial colon, and it'll be sick, and then he could die in the ring. So it's going to be very interesting how they do that match.
So is that everybody's most anticipated match of the night of the cards?
Yes.
So what is your next most anticipated match below that? If everybody's got that as their top, what's your next most anticipated?
I'm not gonna lie, I want to see Danhausen, and I freaking love Danhausen so freaking much. I want to see how he's gonna win this match because he's gonna curse everybody again. I was like, this match is gonna end so freaking funny. At least I'm hoping. I think that might be one of my favorite matches of the night is Danhausen because ever since he came to WWE, he got over he got over very quickly, and I was like, now we see this dude ever, and I'm not mad because I freaking love this dude, and I really think he brings WWE back to a really good stance a bit with the fans because he's like the new R-Truth in a way, just in a more I can't really say supernatural way because of the curse thing and stuff, but he makes WWE interesting again. So I'm definitely Danhausen's match. I am definitely actually looking forward to.
Did somebody say R-Truth?
Yep.
That is also mine.
Yeah, of course it is.
So it's funny you said I'm all for the Danhausen match too. To me, Danhausen is freaking gold, no matter how stupid. I can tell you right now, I actually liked the stupid segment from Monday Night Raw. I thought that I'm like, this is the dumbest song I've ever heard, and I'm still singing the stupid song in my head. But yeah, like you were saying, Kevin, I put a post up with the ice cream truck thing. I'm like, who would have thought when this? Because I was at Scaradise. I was doing Scaradise is the big horror convention that I do, and I remember him debuting the night of Scaradise. I remember being in the Airbnb where they're talking, and we're like, after the show, and Steph and myself and a couple of people that work there in the Airbnb that we're in, and I remember getting the alert, that Danhausen just debuted, and I literally was like, yes! I'm like, freaking finally, because we actually had Danhausen the very first Scaradise. Danhausen was a guest. I've done some other shows. I did GeekCon in Shreveport, Louisiana with Danhausen. Great dude, but this is when he was just in the indies, when he was in AEW, and for him to cut his crazy Billy Crystal from Princess Bride style things, and he's like, I want this, and I want a blimp at WrestleMania, and I'm like, you're like, this is crazy. Then they give the man a freaking blimp at WrestleMania. I'm like, that's crazy. He gets a WrestleMania moment with John Cena. I'm like, dude, this is unreal, and it worked. And then he's like, CM Punk, I want to bring back the ice cream truck. And they've got him a freaking ice cream truck. And the freaking mayor comes out to the ice cream truck and puts on Danhausen's boots. I'm like, this is crazy because it all works. It is fun. It is different. And it brings a ridiculous energy that you need. You can't have everything be a main event. You need some things
Thank you.
are
Yeah.
true. You need
Let
something.
me explain my relationship with Danhausen.
What's your relationship with Danhausen?
So my first exposure to Danhausen was through a wrestler called Effie. So Effie is one of the most prominent gay wrestlers in the world. And Effie does GCW, and Effie's great. And I love Effie. And I'm good friends with Effie. So he's wrestling Danhausen, and he pours the teeth in his mouth, and then he kicks his face, and the teeth go shooting out of Effie's mouth. And it's great. So that's my first exposure to Danhausen. So the Danhausen on the indies is no different than the Danhausen in a lot of ways in WWE, and that's what's so interesting. So we talk about the shenanigans that Danhausen has, the human teeth, how he speaks, all of that. And that, so as a fan, somebody who's been watching Danhausen way before the WWE and AEW, and even before AEW, they're like, this guy's character hasn't exactly, it's evolved, but it hasn't changed from its core. And so it's very rewarding to see that a guy can go from the indies and really stay true to himself in a lot of ways. And I don't know how far you go back, Matt, on Danhausen, but like, we're talking about a match that was in like St. Louis, Missouri, in front of maybe like 100 people in a beat up, like, town hall, for lack of a better word here, that was streamed on an indie platform. And you're like, man, this is kind of crazy.
Yeah, I think 2020, late 2021, early 2022 was my first experience. And I worked the couple of shows I did with him were 2022.
Hell yeah.
And I put I love telling people the one story I have with him where we were at GeekCon, and the way the show floor was set up the one year, the green room was on the second floor in the convention center. If you've ever been to the Shreveport Convention Center, it's a huge building and it's not laid out great. It takes a long way to get from anywhere on the first floor to anywhere on the second floor. So to get to the green room, it was a long journey. You had to go up an elevator, like a freight elevator and all that. And I remember walking back there and going to the green room with Danhausen. And this is when Triple H had just taken over from Vince and all that. Okay. And I was like, hey, so what do you think about what's going on in WWE? And he's still just there to get his character. He's like, I don't know. I don't work there. And I'm like, man, I need to ask him that question now. But he was here, just a cool guy. I mean, it was him and Darby Allin were at that show. Had some crazy stuff with Darby Allin too, but I digress. But it's nice being able to see somebody like that be able to be successful in a way that is so completely the opposite. You cannot see, like, imagine Seth Rollins trying to play that role. It wouldn't work. It wouldn't work. He is always in that character. It's always great. But yeah, so I agree.
The only other person who's like Danhausen is Orange Cassidy.
Well, Orange Cassidy, R-Truth, and Mr. Iguana. I feel like those four all have their characters that are all super fun and super comic relief.
Dude, I swear, if we get a faction of them four, it'll be.
I think Danhausen's great. I think everything he touches is turning to gold. I think if it was him and Dom, it would be a better match. But with the other two added in, I think the ceiling is kind of like a 7 or 8 for that match. I think the build-up was great. Compared to any of the other matches on these cards, the build-up for this match has been better than most.
What's crazy
Danhausen is great. Dom, I think, is one of the best wrestlers there is right now. But I don't think with the other two, Joe Henry and
Bobblehead,
yeah, with them in it, I just can't give it more than a 7 or see a 7 or 8 match on it.
Well, if you go back to what you talked about earlier, Paul, I feel like the result of this match that is not going to have any bearing on anything. Right. I think more than any other match on the 2 nights, I feel like this is the one that's not going to have any bearing on anything. Somebody's going to get cursed. Something's going to happen. There's going to be a double swerve with who gets cursed.
I think you're all wrong. I think this match is only going to benefit everybody.
Oh, I agree. I'm saying it's going to benefit, but I don't think it's going to be a big, huge propellant.
So this is what I think, right? I think any wrestler would beg to be in a match with Danhausen right now.
Right now, absolutely.
Because
So
Danhausen
what they
is
did Monday really kind of fell on the face, and most people didn't like it. And I don't think it was Danhausen or Dom's fault. I think it was the other two, and that's why I'm saying I'm not really looking forward to it. I think it could be a 7 or 8, but I also could see it being a 4 because of the other two. That's just my opinion.
this is what I feel is that Danhausen is the hottest thing right now in WWE. So it only benefits, it only sells merch, it only puts a wrestler into a better position, regardless of the result, right? You know,
Yep.
JD McDonough at Saturday Night Main Event going through a table by Carl Anthony Towns only helps JD McDonough. It only helps him. It only helps Dom. And people don't like it, but those guys were begging to be in that spot. And they know that spot is probably a hotter spot than a main event. You could be in the main event or you could be in that spot, and I think you'd rather be in that spot because you're going to make more money in that spot and you're going to have a lot more fun. Then I'll put it this way. Sami Zayn is wrestling Finn Balor. I think Dominic Mysterio would rather wrestle Danhausen.
100%. 100%.
Russell Finn Balor. Nothing against Finn. Nothing against Sammy, but that's not a fun match. This is Sami Zayn wrestled Johnny Knoxville, right? That's a blast to do that, right? I mean, also, Lawrence Fishburne was Cowboy Curtis, right? So again, blast to be Cowboy Curtis. So that's all I'm gonna say.
So I'll say this: you want to know something? To me, one of the most unbelievable matches, and I mean that not in a unbelievable, I'm excited. I mean like not believable matches, is the Bloodline, and not because of who they're facing. I think it's the Bloodline side that is the least. Like I don't buy main event Jey Uso now main event heel Uso. I don't like Jacob Fatu and the two of them together. I find it more believable, as odd as it is. I know it's a minority opinion a lot of eyes to have Royce Keys and
Solo
and LA Knight together, all because it's the enemy of my enemy is my friend for the night. I don't know how that match is going to end. I don't know if it's going to have a satisfying conclusion, but I believe those three being together more than I believe Fatu being in a match with the Usos.
And I have to say, Solo as a babyface is actually the best thing he's done in a while.
Yeah.
And I'm actually shocked how good he is as a face. I was like, and I think he's actually the funniest brother. I was like, he's actually way funnier than his brothers are. And with Jacob Fatu and the Usos, it feels forced. It doesn't feel natural. They have no chemistry together. I was like, Jacob is a whole different character than the Usos. Jacob was more serious and badass. The Usos are more goofy and botchy. I was like, it feels forced. Like it feels
everybody here, every one of the four of us is a writer in some way, shape, or form. You know that when you put a story together and you make a plot twist or whatever, you have to make sure that it fits the logic of your story. When it doesn't fit is when you're telling your reader, you know why this works? Because I said so. As soon as it's because I said so, that's when people are like, man, that's kind of how I feel about the way they put Jacob and the Usos together right now. And I'm like, I don't want to see that succeed. Tonight, when it became the Sons of Haku and they named them that, I'm like, this is believable. This is
because they are all the Sons of Haku.
I'm like, this is believable to see these guys. I'm like, I want to see, as soon as they brought Haku out, I'm like, okay, now I want to see these guys succeed because they've made it believable and real, because they keep saying we need to make sure we have allegiance to our own family, not to that family. And then Haku walked out. I'm like, let's go. That is great storytelling right there. And it's believable. It's not because I said so. That's what the Usos feel like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, like it does feel. This one does feel forced a little bit. The teams. It's probably my third, maybe fourth match that I'm kind of looking forward to, but I just can't see why it's worth it.
And my other match is Io taking the title from Liv, because I am so tired of Liv Morgan, if I'm being honest. Like
Oh,
she's
I
so
love
annoying to me. I'm sorry. She
but
is annoying, and it's 100 days. She's done nothing with the title, and I'm just like, it's. She, I mean, I love Liv as a person, but her character is just freaking annoying. And I was like, what was the point of putting the title on her if you're not gonna utilize her as a champion or do something interesting with as a champion? But
I,
I'm really hoping EO takes the title off her, and yeah,
I'd like to see him take the title off of her for simply because they just put the other belt, took it off of Sol Ruka and put it on a heel. You
yeah.
don't have Rhea Ripley there right now. So that way you could have some belts on heels and some belts on faces. So that way you get different kinds of storylines.
And plus, I'm ready for the implosion of Judgment Day because the women has to explode. The men have already exploded multiple times. It's the women's turn to explode on each other. And you can see it's been teased so many times with Roxanne. Look at how Roxanne looks at Liv a certain way, and how Liv basically talks about herself and how she wants everything. I was like, it's right there. Can we just pull the trigger already? Because we know it's about to happen, but I feel like it's taking way too long to explode. But now I think it's about to finally explode.
I was so mad they pulled off the belt off Sol Ruka. I hate that. Hate that. Having said that, I don't. I'm a big fan of Io. Love her. I mean, anytime she's on, I will be watching because she has made most of the matches she's been in great and worth watching. And her storylines, they drop too often. But with this one, they just wrestled. They're repeating it. Why? I'm like, I
Yeah,
don't want to see it
that
again
was
so
weird.
soon.
That was really weird. That was
That's
really weird
just,
though.
I mean,
Yeah.
hey, I wrote a book, read it. Oh, wait a minute, read it again. I don't care if you read it already.
Yeah.
I love you. And like I said, anytime she's on, I'm glued to my set because I think she is amazing. But
I don't get it. I just don't get this match, right? Like
Yeah.
I don't think it's problematic per se, them matching up against each other, but we just ran this back and we're running it again. Like you said, we ran it at what, King of the Ring or whatever that was, the last one.
last
I
one,
forgot.
What was the pay-per-view called?
King of the Ring, wasn't it? Yeah.
Night of Champions.
Night of
Night-
Champions.
Night of
Okay. I'm like, what was the thing called? Oh, the tournament was called King and Queen of the Ring, but the pay-per-view was Night of Champions.
or Queen of the Ring. So that's my thing, is that like, why don't you just have it be a championship match? I mean, it doesn't make any sense because you just said it perfectly. They're telling us, hey, this makes sense because we said it made sense. And to me, it's just a missed story. The talent isn't the problem here. And
It's just the writing on the wall. It's horrible.
so
And Paul, I agree with you. I hate seeing the belt come off of Sol Ruka. I'm a huge Sol Ruka fan. I want to see her shoot the top. But I will say this, calling a spade, I feel like for whatever reason, Sol Ruka, once they called her up to the main card, has had a little bit of a struggle adapting to the main card. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's a physicality. I don't know if it's because the only move that she does and her finishing maneuver is such a difficult maneuver to pull off from her and her opponent's standpoint. And she's had some problems like that. I don't know if they pulled the belt off of her to give her a little more time to get in some more better matches with people that can work with her and all that. But I kind of understand maybe why they pulled the belt off her, because she has been struggling a little bit on the main card. I hate saying it because I really want to see her rocket to the top, and maybe she's going to do like Tiffany Stratton, because Tiffany Stratton had times where she was great and times she struggled at the beginning, especially on the mic. And now Tiffany Stratton is straight money. I hope the same thing happens with Sol Ruka.
The other person that needs help is Jada Cargill. I mean, she's still kind of struggling there a little bit too, like mic wise. I think her ring has gotten better, but the mic is still kind of off a bit. But yeah,
she's got a great superhero look, but she definitely struggles on the mic and in the ring.
Yeah, she does.
Yeah, so I think it would have been smart to send Jay to NXT for a while, before she came to the main roster, but that's just a whole different. That's a whole
What I
different
would have
tangent.
done with Jade, what I would have done with Jade is I would have done what they did with Dominic Mysterio.
Mhm.
So Dominic Mysterio was on Monday Night Raw. He was on NXT. He basically he would do Monday Night Raw, then he would fly down to Florida, and he was like the North American Championship, and he had that title, and he was getting a lot of reps down in NXT, reps in Monday Night Raw. He would make a few SmackDown appearances. He would spend, I think, Wednesdays in the Performance Center, and then his schedule was he wasn't doing house shows but he was doing those reps and becoming really good. So you look at Dominic Mysterio's projection rate and how good he became in such a short amount of time. It's because they gave him all of the super rep training he needed. They needed to do that with Jade over 6 months. I'm not saying you had to put her on NXT, but she should have been in the Performance Center. She should have been in the off class that's not televised on NXT just to get in the reps in and get into the WWE style and be really well trained and get those promos. And if they did that for her for 6 months, I think she would be in a better position.
Agreed.
I think they dropped the ball on her because you can still have her be that superhero, but you're providing her back end support. What they did for Dominic Mysterio was so smart because he's in many ways the future of that company. And they could have made her the future too if they wanted to, but they didn't. And it was a dropping of the ball at WWE.
Yeah.
But what they're doing with Last Legend makes a lot of sense. You put her with Nia Jax, and she comes in. She had a decent run in NXT, and you're pairing her with a veteran, and you're protecting her in a lot of ways. And smart, super smart, because Last Legend.
Can you believe that we're talking about Nia Jax protecting anybody? What a crazy world we're in.
Right? Crazy, bro.
But you know what though? But I agree with you. But I'm saying that just shows how Nia Jax has evolved. She got in better shape.
Terrible.
But it is crazy
so
that Nia
bad.
Jax is there to help train somebody and protect somebody after she was the one that people were like, get rid of her because she keeps injuring people.
She was hurting everybody.
I realized how bad of what I just said was. I'm sorry. I realized how insane it was what I just said.
But it's true though. You said something that's very true though. It just shows how people can evolve. Think about how irritating Dom was when he was just Rey Mysterio's little boy, and he has worked hard to be the great character that he is.
Yeah.
Ludwig Kaiser was probably on the chopping block. He's probably going to be on the future endeavor list, and now he's literally the biggest freaking Lucha Libre star in Mexico. Doesn't make any sense.
Dude,
He found a way to reinvent himself, and now he is legitimately. I mean, the dude is at the freaking Mexico game at the World Cup, and the World Cup, they are showing him sitting on the sidelines for the game. Like that blows my mind.
But
Dude,
the
Dominic
thing
is such
they can do
is so
this stuff, and they know how to do this stuff, but they're not doing it. It's like they're only doing it whenever it happens by accident.
I mean, Dominic is so good at his craft. This dude done turned heel 300 times in 1 year.
Dominic Mysterio, how can you turn heel twice when you're already a heel?
Yeah, but he's doing it so good. He's doing it better than anybody else.
Dude, he's holding his craft so freaking good. I was like, good lord.
I agree about Sol Ruka thing, and they should bring her up a little bit better. But giving her the belt, then taking it off because she might have had a few missteps, which she did. But maybe give her a better finisher. Maybe train her a little bit better, protect her like they did with Lash, because Lash I think is the best female coming up because they have done
protect Sol Ruka. Let's protect Sol Ruka by giving her last match in NXT a ridiculous, stupid double table shot that literally could have killed the girl.
She hit her hard. She hit her ass so hard on the other table.
Yeah,
I was scared.
Why do a two tables stacked up that way instead of two on top of each other? I'm like, that was the dumbest maneuver. Literally could have killed her. No reason for that spot to get her out of NXT. I'm like, come on now. Legitimately, protect her. She's already been out 9 months from an injury. And then you're going to put her in all these spots where everything is high flying. It can't always be that way.
I'll give an example, right? There's only a few people who you would ever do that with. And the people you would do it with would be somebody like an Edge, Randy Orton. If they did that I think would be okay because those guys know what the hell they're doing. I think John Cena, Edge. I even think CM Punk, John Cena. And I think there's a few women who you could do it with, right? like Natty, I think would be fine to do it with, not Sol Ruka. And the list is not high, right? And it's also not a priority either. And it's not. I mean, it's the wrestler's call at that point if they want to do something like that. Sol Ruka should have never been put into that position. You could have got the same pop in a different way.
Yeah, like you say, if you stack the tables up on top of each other, same thing happens, but it's a lot safer. I'm like, when you put it like that, if she doesn't hit both of those tables perfectly, you smacked yourself in the back of the head. She might have gotten killed. You could have had a concussion that would have removed her from being a wrestler.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, fellas, I'm going to have to go here in a second, but I got a question for you. Is Enzo Amore going to come back with Big Cass on Monday? Have they been purposely not, even though he's been at the training center, have they purposely not been talking about Enzo to hopefully get the Enzo and Cass humongous pop in some way on Monday? Is he coming back? Yes or no?
I think so.
I think so.
I'm going to be the minority. I don't know. I don't know if he's welcome back. I don't know. It's tough in which I feel like he's not welcome back. And I feel
he's been at the training center though. So I feel like if they bring him back, they could do something where Cass says something to him about, you screwed up last time and this is your opportunity. Don't mess it up again, where maybe they make that into a storyline.
I think they're going to
the way I could see it
is in, then Enzo Amore in about a month later.
Well, the way I could see it, Big Cass in the middle of his promo, Enzo's music hits, and he comes out mid promo of Cass is talking. Well, I think I could possibly see that happen. I think it's possible.
I'm torn on it, and I have no problem admitting that I'm torn on it because, again, it's tricky for me for everything that's happened with him in that company.
Unless Enzo shows up at NXT and fuses with Grayson Waller somehow, I don't know.
Again, it's a coin toss for me. It's where I'm at with it.
I think the bottom line here is that what we talked about at the beginning, the lower card stuff, the other NXT, AAA, the stuff happening on Monday night, the Danhausen undercard stuff. Those things are way more interesting. Other than Brock and Oba, they're way more interesting than the top of the card stuff right now, and that's not good.
Yep.
I mean, again, I don't have a problem with CM Punk, Cody Rhodes. I don't really care one way or the other. It's going to be an enjoyable match for me. But
I just hated how they brought it together. That's something I hated about it. I don't mind the match. It's just the way they did it.
I could separate the talent from the story.
Build-up is half the match.
Yeah. So
I digress. Yeah. So I got a question for Matt before he goes.
What's up?
That is not wrestling. What do you have to promote?
What I promote? Well, I'll say this. We just put it on our newsletter today. As of today, we are finished with Tatsumi the Serpent Mistress number 3. We'll send it off to the printers this week. Super stoked about this issue. Really, really happy about that. Still have some of the side merch to get done. The leather work is getting finished up, things like that. But really happy about that. We've got the pre-launch page. We always like to have a pre-launch page up for the next campaign prior to, like, when we send the surveys out. That way we send the survey, we can have the pre-launch link for the next one there. So the pre-launch link for Tatsumi the Serpent Mistress number 4 is at tinyurl.com/Tatsumi the number 4. That's going to launch in October. The inks for that issue are already done. We're working on the colors and letters right now. Kevin, I know you're a fan of Tatsumi. Cannot wait for you to see what happens.
I have to get number 2 because I got very busy and I missed that Kickstarter. So
well, we need to get you that issue, man, because Tatsumi 2 is huge. There's a lot of fun stuff in there. You're gonna get to 3 and you're gonna be like, dude, what are you guys doing? 4 and then subsequently 5, you're gonna be like, man, you guys don't even make any dang sense. You have thrown so many swerves on the storyline at me. I don't even know which end is up, but you're gonna love it.
I was like, you've seen me bounce around ever, so I missed the Kickstarter, but I definitely got to get 2 and 3.
You got to get yourself focused in. You can still late pledge on issue 3's campaign. Get issue 2. You can go to our store. We got to get you issue 2 and get you locked in, man, so that way you can get that story.
Hell yeah, because I still reread number 1 over and over again. Like, I need to get 2 and 3. I keep
Do
forgetting.
it. I think you're
Yeah.
gonna want to, man. Do it, man.
I was like, I'm ready for that Tatsumi video game too, though. I'm just saying.
I love it. And then we'll be at GeekCon in Shreveport, Louisiana, in 2 weekends. Two weekends from now, we'll be in GeekCon in Shreveport. Then the weekend after that, I'll be at TenoshiCon in Daytona Beach,
Nice.
Florida, doing that show as well. So that's what we have in our immediate calendar.
So fingers crossed, I might be in Florida not till 2027, but fingers crossed.
Cool. We'll have to
I
hook
will
it
not
up.
be in Florida. I am broke, and I am dealing with a debt that is not fun. But I will magically get through it because it will just happen. So I am not going to be in Florida. So if I am in Florida, that's a problem. You should be very concerned if I am. Not because I have anything against Florida. It's just nothing against Florida. It's just I'm not going to be there. Anyway, please continue.
Matt, 1 to 10. All said and done, what do you think SummerSlam is going to be? 1 to 10.
Oh man, I think it's probably going to be a 6 because I feel like there's just too many pay-per-views, and I feel like as you guys said earlier, there's so many matches that are so hard for them to get the right build-up, and especially with it being a 2-night thing, trying to pull off the WrestleMania thing, I just feel like there's a lot of stuff that don't feel like the stakes are really truly there. So I feel like as an overall card, I can't see it be more than a 6, maybe 7.
For me, I would say a 6.5. So 6.5, just to be nice. So it's like just to be nice. So
I think we're gonna end up at a 6, maybe a 7 if we're optimistic. If half of these matches are better than expected, we'll be at a 7. But it's not gonna be a 5. But it could be. But I don't think it's gonna be a 5. It's gonna be a 6 or a 7 without a doubt.
What about you, Paul? What's your grading?
I'm thinking a 5, maybe a 6. I think the best thing that's going to hold it over is that Oba match.
Yeah, agreed.
Of course, like I was saying, my second match that I'm looking forward to is the Penta match. Chad Gable.
Yeah, Penta and Chad Gable. I can't wait to see him put the belt on Gable. Gable has earned it through his elevation of El Grande Americano. He's earned that.
Yeah.
I just want to see, is Gable going to get back with Alpha Academy? Is he going to get back with the All Americans? Are they all going to get together? Something has to happen there.
Yes.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
No, I don't want anything to happen. I want him to have a singles run. I want him to be out and about and free, and I want him to earn Penta's respect. That's what I would like. And I'm hoping he beats him, and I hope that Penta shakes his hand at the end of it. I really do.
Could you see Chad Gable leading a group of lucha of, Penta and Rey Fenix and all that with Chad Gable, as a leader of that stable? How wild would that be?
They need a face stable because they got all the bad guy stables, but no good one.
My God. You give Chad Gable that would be brilliant. That would be so brilliant. Oh my God. That would be absolutely amazing. Because it would be and then at certain points when you need backup, you call El American Grande, the one that beat him. You could have so much. You could have so much. And you I'm sorry. It's
God.
All right, fellas. Hey, I do have to jump, so have fun with the rest of the conversation. We'll see what happens when Monday comes around.
Great talking to you, Matt.
Great talking to you,
fellas.
Absolutely.
See ya.
Oh my God! Please just give us that stable led by Chad Gable. Just please give us that stable led by Chad.
That would be good. Like I said, I think that's my second most anticipating match because I think something's gonna. I mean, it's gonna. I think it's gonna be good.
I think that's gonna be. I think that's night 2. I think that's gonna be an amazing match. I think that match and the Oba match is gonna be great. I don't have a problem with Sami Zayn versus Finn Balor, but I don't consider either one of them to be number 1 contenders.
Did they really build it up?
It's not even. You give a stipulation that doesn't make sense,
it's weird.
Sammy makes sense. Finn Balor doesn't.
But
Because
same
Sammy
time,
gets
Finn
through.
kind of does make sense because he didn't lose that title. This has been 10 years, but that's really the only thing that really is for Finn. But Sammy does make more sense.
Unless Kevin Owens comes back.
It is rumored Kevin and Randy Orton are supposed to be coming back soon. So that's the other thing that's coming and like brewing in the rumor section.
So I don't really know. It's odd. I mean, and then the whole Rhea Ripley, what is it, a ladder match? Which I like so let me explain. I like the concept of having an interim title, right? I actually because they do that in UFC. I don't think it should be used all that often, but I think there is something to be said about using it every once in a while. And I think it's a really cool angle that WWE is doing with the women's title, where you have an interim title, and then you're going to have to unify both those titles when she comes back. And I think it makes an interesting storyline. I wouldn't want it to be done on every single title when it occurs. But because I don't think it's been done in a while in WWE. But that's just what I think on that idea. But I do like ladder matches.
Yeah.
Ladder matches are fun. My favorite ladder match is when they had both tag team titles up there, and you had what was it, Grayson Waller and Austin Theory won it, and The Miz and
R-Truth.
R-Truth won the other one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that was brilliant that you put both in the same match. So ladder matches allow for a lot of fun. I digress. But I don't know what's gonna happen on SummerSlam. All I know is that I'm gonna get hammered with my friends tomorrow night watching this.
Yeah, I'm just hoping to have some fun watching it. So
I hope I really do. I mean, I'm trying to be positive, but
yeah.
I think it's just gonna be mid.
Oh, it's very possible to be mid. So
it's gonna be very possible to be what?
I say it's very possible it could be mid, but I want to be optimistic about it.
I want to
again. Let me put it this way, right? Last year, they had Cardi B there, and she was there for like 30 minutes.
Oh Lord, don't remind me.
I don't have a problem with Cardi B per se. I mean,
I don't either, but
it.
it was weird. Just please don't remind me.
I don't really. It's whatever. It's
yeah.
It missed the mark. It just misses the mark.
Yeah. Yeah.
What match y'all think is going to be the breakout that you don't think is going to be good, but it has a possibility?
Danhausen?
Well, I mean, y'all think that's going to be y'all said that was one that y'all are looking forward to.
So
is there
I don't
one
think
y'all ain't looking forward to. You think that could?
Let me put it this way. I'll tell you what I think, right? And then anybody can challenge me on this, right? The Danhausen Dominic Mysterio, it's already built in that it's going to be good. It's not going to be a breakout, in my opinion. The Obafemi Brock, there's no expectation of a breakout in that match, right? Personally, I don't think there is one, right, in that match. Those two matches, I don't think there's any expectation. Cody Rhodes, CM Punk, I don't think that's going to be a bad match. I don't think it's going to be like we're breaking the wall. I'll tell you the match I think it might be really good that nobody's talking about. Sami Zayn, Finn Balor. I think it's going to be a lot better than it was built up to be. I think it's going to be really good, and I think I don't think it's going to be bad. I think it's coming in at like a B minus, and it has the potential to be a B plus or an A minus match. It has the potential to do it, right? But the match's been built up as dog shit, and so what do in this position, right? Because, but like the guys, I think those two guys are going to put on a great match. I think the match that's going to be the opposite of that is Gunther and Nick Aldis. I think that match has been built roughly, and I think that match is going to really disappoint.
Yeah.
I think that match is built to fail. What would you say?
Yeah, I agree.
So I don't think the Sami Zayn Finn Balor match is built to fail. I think
Mhm.
I think it's going to exceed expectation. You know,
I'll be right back.
so
I'll be right back.
oh no, I thought I did something wrong. But that's what I think. Now I could be absolutely wrong. I could be off base on this, but the point that I'm making is that I think there's something to be said about that, where that's how I think it is, right? So, but again, you know, I expect certain things, right? But
Yeah.
so I don't like. I expect Dan Housing and Dominic Mysterio to kill it. I expect that match to be fun, entertaining, and comedy relief, right? I expect it to be what it's advertised as. You know, if I go to a UFC event, I expect two fighters to fight each other. Like, does that make sense? Like, I
That makes
expect
total sense. That makes total fucking sense. Yeah.
like so, but I don't know what to fully expect out of Sami Zayn and Finn Balor. But what I do think is that I think we're in for a good match with that. But again, I could be wrong. I've been wrong before. It's not going to be the first time I'm going to be wrong. But
But you got a point though. You got a point though.
I think we're in for something good. I really do with that. But I digress. Because again, I don't know. But again, I'm not, my hopes for some are not high.
That's fair. Yeah.
I don't. You could challenge me. I mean, if you disagree or you think there's another match that's going to be a breakout on these 12 matches, because I mean, you got Trick
No,
Williams,
actually, I
right?
don't disagree because it's very possible that might be a breakout match because it's not a match that everyone like really anticipating. So it could blow up and become one of the best matches tonight. Like anything's possible.
I mean, the other match that could be interesting. I think it's
But I think that, I do think the women's ladder match could potentially be a breakout match. Could be because one is I mean, look. I mean, honestly, look. I mean, look at the look at who's in the match. I think it's got some really good hitters. Got in the match. We got
you
Charlotte
got
Flair,
you got Tiff,
Jay, Tiffany, Chelsea, and who am I
Last
missing?
Legend.
Not last. I mean, yeah, Last Legend, something like that. I'm
You
like,
got Stratton, Cardle, Chelsea Green,
mm,
Charlotte Flair, and Lash Legend.
mm,
I mean, I'm not saying they're the top five. They're arguably they're some of the top talent there. I mean, Charlotte Flair still has it, regardless of what people think. Charlotte Flair still has it. So you know that's what I think, right? Chelsea
yeah.
Green has been around forever. Jade is the whole package that needs some polish on her. Tiffany Stratton is killing it. And the only person in that match who is the up and comer is Lash.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep.
But this could be her moment. I mean,
Yeah.
she wins this. She's in an interesting position because
Like if WWE does this right, that's the other thing.
she could run with it, and who knows what the hell's going to happen with it.
Exactly. Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, again, I'm curious what you think, because I've been speaking a lot about this and this whole conversation about that. But again, I don't disagree that the ladder match could be the breakout either, because it's got potential.
Mhm.
It should be very interesting, right? And then I mean, the $100,000 Dan Houston has.
That human money.
Oh my god! I can't wait. That match.
That match is gonna be so funny. Oh my
I think
lord.
it is too. Like I said, I just think Joe Henry and Big Head are kind of going to weigh it down a little bit. I just think.
Isn't it
fair.
the whole one-on-one match?
Sorry.
That
Yeah,
match
it is.
it's a one-on-one match. It's human money's on a pole match.
I was like, but that's gonna be interference though. It's the
Oh,
judgment day.
but are any of us really expecting a serious match here? Like,
God no.
no.
God no.
I want things to be funny, right? Like, that was the whole thing at Saturday Night Main Event when Danhausen gets his cape back of the Knicks. I thought it was hilarious. Like he comes out and then he takes the stuffed cat and puts it in his cloning machine. I thought it was ridiculous. I thought it's like it was funny because he puts it in and then the cat, he puts a cat in and then he clones it and the big cat Carly Towns comes out. And I thought it was ridiculously funny. I thought it was the stupidest, funniest, dumbest, pure wrestling thing I've ever seen in my life. Like, and it was great. And that's what I want. I want to be entertained and teased, and I want to be. I'm stressed out enough in my life that I really need things that unstress me.
Agree.
So
Agreed.
I just don't know. I mean, like
Uh,
they've been letting us down so much lately. So
yeah.
and I'm just hoping it's good.
So I'm gonna ask a question that's wrestling related and not because I'm curious. I come into things with low expectations, right? So I watch a lot of anime, right? And a lot of the shows I'm watching is like the hero gets kicked out of the hero's party and he's opening up an apothecary, right? And it's his adventures, and then the another hero comes, and then they're just like starting a relationship, and they want to live in a quiet town, and nobody is leaving them the fuck alone, so that they could really enjoy each other in an adult consensual way, right? And they just want to provide medicine to the town folk. They're happy and they're thrilled in life. But the hero, the guy who got kicked out, is the strongest hero in the world. But he just wants to like gather herbs and make medicine. And my expectation is that I just want to have my fucking whiskey and fucking get intoxicated and just watch this thing and nobody's bothering me. And like my expectation is it's supposed to be chilling me out. So and it does its job. And that's what I feel WWE. That's why I'm so like, I'm like, okay, it's a 5, but it's entertaining. Like I'm not psychoanalyzing wrestling. And like that's my whole
Isn't that
thing.
what we're doing? Isn't that what we're doing? Dissecting it?
We are, but like my point is that like
a movie. You go into a movie, you know, hoping it's good, relaxes you, and you can like escape in it and not worry about it being bad. But if it's bad, it's bad. And lately, WWE has been bad.
I don't know. Maybe I'm charitable here. Maybe I'm just chilled out. Maybe I'm not taking it too seriously. Because I also I'll say this as a dirty word. I've read a lot of bad comics. I watched a lot of bad anime. I've watched a lot of bad movies. So I've watched a lot of bad WNBA games. I mean, I watch a lot. I mean, I'm a Mets fan. So maybe my position here is a little bit different because if you watch the Mets in the last 30 days, your viewpoint on life is a little bit different. WWE is not so bad.
I don't take it too seriously either, but that doesn't mean I'm not gonna find problems in it. I'm still like there to have some fun, but like I said, my writer brain still kicks in, and I was like, I'm still gonna find some type of issue with it, but I'm not gonna be like on social media. It's like this is trash, blah 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 blah. I would break it down, explain how this doesn't make sense or how this could have been better if they would have shot or something.
You're not like me yelling at the Dallas Mavericks, being like, "What the fuck are you doing? Did you ever hear of defense?" Like,
oh no, I do. Oh no, I do that. I just don't. I mean, oh, trust me. When I'm watching it, I do that. And like, what the crap was that? I literally do that a lot of the time too. So trust me, I do exactly that.
So the one match that we really hadn't talked about was Trick Williams and Baron Corbin.
I completely forgot about that match.
I mean, I didn't forget about other matches.
I'm not even kidding. I forgot they were on the card. I forgot Baron Corbin came back out of the blue.
And the funny thing is,
and honestly, I'm not like, I'm not even sure about the match. I'm honestly, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm really just not sure about it. I'm like, I don't know what to think about
partial.
it. Yeah, I'm like, I feel like it's just there, just to be there. I'm like,
man, the funny thing, like I said, it's dead, but this one's actually for a belt. You would think that it'd have more.
But it didn't have no type of story. Baron just showed up and get a title match. Like,
yeah,
that's it.
I agree with you.
I was like, Dude, if this was Carmelo and Trick, I'll be happy because this has been building since they both been on the main
Yeah.
roster. Like that would have
He'd
made
be
more
great.
sense. But Baron Corbin out the blue, and then he all of a sudden gets a title match on a PLE.
Yeah, or
Like
Javon. Javon would have been great in this match. I would have been.
Javon would have been fantastic.
I don't think he's even on the card at all.
He's not. But I'm like,
That's sad.
this is
Yeah,
it's.
that's an issue.
I think that's just a filler, just because it's 2 nights. They just needed to put something up there. I'm like,
Well, again,
why?
no Braun Breaker, no Braun
I am
Javon.
so sick of having Braun Breaker wasting his talent in the vision. And I was like, why are you having this dude with some weird wannabe Jonas Brothers in this faction?
I
I'm
like.
like I can't stand Austin Theory. You made Maxine look like a whore. You got Logan Paul being a cocky asshole, which he is anyway.
I can't stand Logan Paul for a
I can't either. He's just so freaking annoying.
No, this is my fucking problem with Logan Paul. So I have a hard time separating Logan Paul of WWE from everything else Logan Paul has done.
Yeah.
Right.
That's
So Logan Paul, the Crypto Zeus shit, right? So when we actually look at Logan Paul, unbelievable talent built for WWE. Logan Paul, though, in real life is a fucking scumbag. I'm sorry. Have you ever seen Logan Paul with Ken Goblin or Goblin? Like the shit, that Pokemon shit that was done, it is so goddamn fucking shady, and it makes me want to leave.
yeah.
It,
But I mean,
it turns me off when I see him on television. Because it's not even that I'm a huge Pokemon guy and I'm a card guy, so maybe I'm a little more exposed to it. But
Wait, are you talking about the car he paid like millions of dollars for?
yeah, and then he sold for like 15 million. And there's a lot of shady shit around it, right? And if you look at him, you look at his body language.
It looks trash, by the way.
It's so toxic, right? That it puts me and turns me off from him, right? And that's my issue.
if you're talking about like out of the ring stuff, then you're gonna have to talk about like Brock and all that stuff that happened there.
But the difference is that Logan,
other people.
I agree with you. My issue though with Logan Paul is that Logan Paul is so much bigger, right? And he's so much more media centric that you just get exposed to it more. And I agree that the Brock issue and shit that's happened with other wrestlers is a problem too.
Be right back, guys.
Yeah. But I completely agree with you. My issue is that Logan Paul's thing is just so much more public. So it's just more exposure. Does that make sense?
I don't think it's more public. I mean, everyone in WWE knows about the Brock and Vince stuff.
I mean, we're talking about millions of people though with Logan Paul, and we're talking about the Crypto Zoo issue, who got screwed out of millions of dollars. Logan Paul's issues.
Know about the Logan Paul stuff because most people don't care. I don't think. I could be wrong. But
I feel Logan Paul's just toxic, right? That's how. And when I see Logan,
I mean, in the ring, he's great.
Oh, I think he's talented. I just think he's a scumbag. I mean,
that way. There's a lot of other people you got to throw in that category.
But you know what is so? I mean, who else is a scumbag in wrestling? I don't think Brock is. I don't think Paul Heyman is.
Well, why wouldn't you say that about Brock? I mean, he was in the middle of all that stuff with Vince.
No. You could have a legal problem, right? I think Logan Paul is an actual scumbag, right?
That wasn't a moral problem, not just legal.
So no. We're gonna have this conversation. We actually need to define. So I think Logan Paul is an asshole in real life, right? So what I'm getting at is that I don't think Brock Lesnar is an asshole in real life, right?
Yeah, I think he is though. I mean, he doesn't. He says that he doesn't like talking to people, and all that other stuff. I mean, besides the whole womanizing thing. Like I said, if you're comparing, it's still bad morals. and they're not.
Like, for the record, Brock is very introverted, so that's why I don't think he's an asshole. But when you meet him in person, I've seen he actually interacts with fans. But just because he doesn't like talking to people, he just like I feel like he does a very introverted person, and he doesn't like to be bombarded. But of course, everyone has a past. I'm pretty sure he has like moments he was an asshole, but
So
but to me, I think
I'm
Brock is like a
going
very
with
chill dude.
where I'm going with the Logan Paul thing is that
But Logan
Logan
Paul is a
Paul.
straight up cocky asshole. So he's just a straight up cocky asshole.
I mean, Tom Brady slapped the shit out of him in Fanatic Fest. And
Yeah.
I don't think that. Because Logan Paul said to Tom Brady, "Oh, if I was playing against you in the Saudi league, I would beat you." And
I
like
think that was
Tom
a work.
Brady
Come
was
on.
saying, "What did you say?"
I think that was a work.
Oh,
I
that's
think they were
that
gonna have
that
Tom
was
Brady
definitely a work.
I don't think that was a work. I don't think so.
I think it was.
It didn't look like it.
But yeah, but at the same time, it could have been a work, but it could have actual issues.
Yeah, even still. Like I say, when you talk about his all out of the ring stuff, then you got to talk about other people's stuff too.
But the problem is that
We're
Logan
talking
Paul
about
brings the out
him
of
as a
the.
wrestler, though.
But the problem is that Logan Paul is Logan Paul in the ring and out of the ring, right? Like Brock Lesnar is not Brock Lesnar out of the ring. He's
Again,
not.
He still has that immoral stuff that went on with him and Vince and those other people.
Right. The problem though
you
is
can't
that
say that he's not a bad person.
I'll put it this way, right? John Cena out of the ring is so when John Cena is in a movie, he's John Cena, right? He's not what? Did somebody say something?
No.
Oh no, I thought somebody said something. So I don't think you can turn off John Cena in WWE and out of WWE. Logan Paul's the same way. So for instance, CM Punk is not CM Punk when he's sitting on his couch in his apartment in Chicago. Logan Paul is, right? So Logan Paul on Impulsive is Logan Paul, and he's Logan Paul in the ring. John Cena was in the Matchbox movie, is John Cena in the Matchbox movie, and is John Cena in the ring when he's promoting the John Cena Classic. So that's my issue about Logan Paul. So whatever Logan Paul does outside the ring affects him in
somebody who has no immoral issues, John Cena, supposedly.
No, but that's not the argument. The argument is that Logan Paul's brand is Logan Paul's brand, regardless of where he is, right? So if Logan
is the
Paul,
same way. Brock is like, I don't want to
but
talk.
it's not. It's not though. It's not. Because if Brock Lesnar is ranching and he's selling something,
he's not talking about just ranching all the time. He's talking about any time. He's like, I don't want to be around fans. I don't want to be around wrestlers. I don't want to be around anybody.
Right.
The way he's always been.
That's not the argument,
the moral stuff that he was in court about. And
so
they're still on the same level. But like I said,
they're not though. They're not. The issue here is that Logan Paul is so much bigger, right? So anything Logan Paul does, because his brand. So when Logan Paul represents, hey, I'm building a crypto zoo thing, and then you screw people out of millions of dollars, right? Or the whole shady Pokemon stuff, or the fact that he was screw people out of a collectible component. The fact that he is a wild card. I mean, there's a lot more problems with Logan Paul.
Like cards and collectibles and this stuff. And Brock's was about human trafficking. How can you compare those? And how can you not saying that Logan Paul is bigger than Brock? I don't know about that because of the UFC stuff. How can you not think that Brock is pretty huge? And even
what'd you say?
It's not a matter of how many fans each one has. It's a matter of
without a doubt. I mean, Logan Paul's bigger than Logan Paul as an entity is bigger than Brock Lesnar. No doubt about that. I mean, just on a social media level, without a doubt, that Logan Paul has one of the top 20 podcasts in the world. Without a doubt, Logan Paul is bigger than Brock Lesnar. Pat McAfee is bigger than Brock Lesnar too. So that's not a debate, right? Logan Paul is
I
one of
don't debate that. I mean, come on now. I understand that Logan Paul's big on social media, but you got to think Brock Lesnar was in the NFL, he was in UFC, and he's a
Logan Paul's bigger.
That's not the point of it. The point is who's more immoral. That's what you're saying.
Logan Paul, without a doubt.
Again, you're talking about coins. You're talking about cars.
Logan Paul screwed
Compared to
people
human
out of
trafficking.
almost $10 million.
You're talking about money.
Brock Lesnar was not convicted.
Again,
He was.
that's not the point. The point
Brock
is
Lesnar was name dropped in that. He was name dropped in that lawsuit, but he wasn't
Why was he name
convicted or tried for it. That whole
Why was-
trafficking thing was on Vince.
So
why was he name dropped?
because people get caught up in lawsuits
Because
sometimes.
supposedly he was given a woman to do with as he will.
You just said it perfectly though. It's
Yeah, supposedly though. But they never had evidence on him to charge him though.
Okay, but you're
with Logan Paul, it's pretty clear that Logan Paul did some stuff and screwed people out of millions of dollars. So if we're going to talk about your own argument on immorals and things like that, I mean, Logan Paul has done immoral things, and they have been well documented. He said he was on CoffeeZilla going to refund it, and he didn't do it, and then he tried to sue CoffeeZilla. I mean,
I'm saying if you're saying that you're not liking one person because they did bad stuff, you got to start saying all these other people who did bad stuff you don't like either.
But the issue with Brock is that there isn't any evidence. It's a allegation that was then dropped.
Not necessarily. There's no evidence. You don't know. You don't know if he struck a deal that erased all that evidence. You don't know. You can't say.
But if there was evidence, he would have been tried. He would not have been dropped from the lawsuit, and he would have not been brought back by WWE essentially, and that's the whole thing. So essentially, there really isn't any evidence. It's a pretty.
You don't know.
But you don't know either, right? So now, if we go along the lines here,
that he will witness against Vince, so they basically dropped everything. So you
okay. So if I concede ground, right? This is so important, right? So if I concede ground that I don't know, then you don't know if there is evidence, and so we're at a moot point then on this. But if you're dropped from a lawsuit,
you're basically comparing possibility of human trafficking to coin collecting or money. Again, if you got
tens of millions of dollars, yes.
Again, if you're gonna hate one person for immoral, you got to hate both people for immoral.
No, because you can evaluate individual components on what is immoral and what isn't. And if somebody is allegedly dropped, it isn't provable, there's really no evidence to proceed anything on it, then yes, you can make a fair judgment call to say, well, you know what is, maybe nothing happened here. The evidence doesn't suggest, and it's a basic component, right? So then when you go look at Logan Paul,
suggest they dropped whatever they had on him because he turned on Vince.
But he didn't turn on Vince. That case didn't even go forward. It's not even going forward, right? In a lot of ways, the case against Vince really didn't even go anywhere, and it still isn't going anywhere.
It's still there. What are you talking about?
It's not going anywhere.
Right now, the case is going private from last report I read about.
Yeah, they're still in discussion.
So they're still talking about it.
Yeah, they're still talking about it.
But I don't think Brock turned on it. I just think they don't have any evidence on Brock. The point about Logan Paul that I'm making is that I do think Logan Paul with that faction turns off people, and you know what is that's where I'm going with this. But my viewpoint on Logan Paul is that I just think he's toxic. I think he brings all the talent, but he brings so much fucking baggage in. It's problematic.
My phone's dying.
I mean, you can disagree with me. That's fine on that. I mean,
like I said, if you're gonna say one person's bad, you gotta start pointing out all the other bad.
But you also have to look at evidence. You also have to look at what evidence suggests, and not everybody is the same.
Yeah, but you're telling me that out of all the WWE people that Logan Paul's the only bad person?
No, I never said that. You said that.
I'm saying there are other bad people that you.
No. I said that with Logan Paul, he's one of the most immoral individuals on the roster right now. No question about that. You made the comparison to say, "Oh, he's worse than Brock," or Brock's worse than he is. And I don't think that's the case, right? I mean, that's the argument that I got out of you.
I think Brock's worse.
Well, evidence doesn't suggest that Brock was convicted. So we'll use this. Hyde from that '70s show was convicted. Pretty immoral person. Most people would agree that what he did was pretty bad, right? I think most people agree, right? I think most people think Harvey Weinstein was pretty bad. There's an allegation against Dustin Hoffman that was dismissed on something, and it was pretty easily dismissed that he was a bad person, and then it turned out that nothing happened, and it was an allegation that was proven false. So that's my point, is that I don't think anybody thinks Dustin Hoffman, one of the greatest actors, that's been around, that allegation was made, it was proven false, and then you move on. So with Brock, I would make the argument that the allegation in many ways was proven false. So, but my point about Logan Paul is that I just don't think he brings much. I think he brings more problems to WWE than he helps.
I disagree, but that's just my opinion.
That's fun. This is fun. I don't know. Sorry, Kevin. We probably got you canceled on half your TikToks.
Canceled. That's hilarious. Oh my god.
Oh, this happens a lot. Me and Paul argue all the time, right?
But this is like the best argument I ever seen, because nobody disrespected anybody. Normally, when I see people argue about this situation, they're just disrespecting each other. But you guys are actually having a conversation about it. So I'm like, this is actually very fascinating, getting both point of views. I mean, it's very fascinating.
No. See, me and Paul are good friends in a lot of ways. Because I told Paul that he can't die because I can't afford to go to his funeral in Texas. and you all laugh, but I really can't afford it, so it's gonna be a problem. Like, and he knows that I can't afford it at the moment.
You can afford it. Go sell a car.
No, I'll get him out there to Texas because I got family in Texas. So
he knows. I remember. So Paul knows the story I'm gonna tell. Paul was a little bit sick, and I said to him, "You can't." He's like, "I'm gonna die in like the next year or the next 6 months." I said, "You can't. I can't afford to come to your funeral, right?"
No, I'm gonna call Andrew. I'm saying, dude, I'm headed to Texas. Wanna come on?
Also, Paul's giving me shit about a hawk. So apparently a hawk was injured, and so I rescued the hawk. By the way, the hawk was released back into the wild. So apparently, hawks are sometimes stupid. Baby hawks and miniature hawks sometimes don't know exactly eye position, and they crash into things sometimes because they're learning how to fly, right? Yeah. So what happens sometimes is that they crash and then they just go whatever. And I have a King Charles Cavalier Spaniel, and she was going right up to the hawk, and the hawk wasn't even interested in her. Yeah. So what happened is that we wound up taking the hawk to a hawk rescue place, and my dad just picked it up. We put it into a bin. The hawk just laid on its side, and my parents thought the hawk was dead when they got there, and the hawk just got up and it was fine. And then it eventually, in about a week, just needed some food, needed to be nourished, and then it was released into the wild. And supposedly it's fine. So, but he was giving me shit because he's like, "You should just kill the hawk."
Should have shot him, ate him, barbecued him. That's what we did in Texas.
You crucified the hawk, bro. Shame on you, man. Shame on you.
It's a hawk.
Crucified the freaking hawk. God damn it, dude.
So we were speaking about it, and he was like, "Oh, you should have just killed him." I'm like, "I can't. It's a hawk, dude. I'm not gonna go kill an animal that's defenseless. That's not harming me. That's messed up."
Hawks kill people.
That's really messed up.
God, that is so messed up.
In Texas, you shoot first and ask questions later.
I mean, what is it? LAX all over again?
Oh no.
Well, what that's a wrestling thing. Oh my god, just so many things I could say. So many things I could say here. Just so many things I could say. It's really terrible. It's absolutely terrible. What I could say here. But again, I mean, I think we covered SummerSlam pretty well here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure if you get hammered, it's probably going to be a 10. So
Now we just got to come back for a reaction live to talk about the actual show.
I am totally down to do this. And then I just won't watch the WNBA because I'll get really hammered. I was going to get drunk with this, but, granted, I mean, the Fever did win, so they bounced me back of my $25 loss on the Dallas Wings. But that's because Caitlin Clark is just gifted. Just gifted. She's not the prettiest. What did you say?
Anybody see Spider-Man yet?
Yes.
I did not.
Yes.
What'd you think of it? I mean, I hadn't seen it, but what'd you think of it?
It was pretty good, bit jumpy because it was like too many storylines coming at the same time.
My son told me all about it because I can't make it. I'm a little bit disabled, so I can't make it. But he told me all about it, and I'm like, that's it.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, I'm like, it was like I said, it was a bit jumpy because there's like so many storylines they kind of try to mix together. But I had a good time. I gave it like a 7.8 out of 10. So, yeah. Is it the best? Like, is it the best? It could have been, but if it could have been the best, but there was like issues that kind of made it not the best, if that makes sense.
Like I said, my son told me about it, and I was like, man, the rumors were a lot better than what you're telling me the movie actually was.
Yeah, and the post-credit scene was kind of confusing a bit, but yeah. Yeah, it was. I think it was pretty good.
Are you gonna go see it, Andrew?
I don't know. Again, money's tight in my world right now. And time is tight. Also,
yeah.
I mean, I'm going up to hang out with my sister for like a week in Pittsburgh later on. So, and hang out with my two nieces who are like 2.5 and almost 4. So that's like a week. So we're not gonna go see Spider-Man. No offense to Spider-Man, but my nieces are not gonna understand it, right?
Yeah.
So that's like in like a week from now. And then just and me and my friends see all these anime movies. So like me and my friends are seeing next week only like I think on August 10th, Only Yesterday, which is an anime film from like maybe like 89 or 93. I forget exactly when. Daisy Riddle's in it. Guy from Slumdog Millionaires is in it. So it's an anime film, but they voice in it. I think it's one of Daisy Riddle's like first roles. So like that's kind of what me and my friends do is we see all these really cool like anime movies. So like I might see it, but I don't know, or I just might wait for it to come out on Disney Plus. Like in like 3-4 months. It might just be easier. I love Spider-Man, right? It's just like timing and all that shit sometimes doesn't work. But
that's fair.
Yeah,
that's fair.
I bought tickets for Doomsday, and even though I really can't make it to theaters, I'm going to be popping a lot of medicine to get to Doomsday. And I was kind of, after hearing everything that I heard about Spider-Man, I was like, I'm glad I didn't, try to make it because I would have probably been a little disappointed.
So like, again, I don't go to the movies that often. I mean, I didn't even see the Mario movie, but it just came out on Peacock.
Yeah.
So like, I'm excited to watch that on Peacock. So like, that's how I view stuff, right? Like, I watch all this stuff in my house within like 3-4 months of it coming out. Like, because movies are fucking expensive now.
They are.
I mean, I saw Toy Story 5. That was fun.
My son saw that. I didn't see it.
it wasn't the greatest, but I mean it was good. I enjoyed it. It was worth what I paid for it. Is the point.
Mhm.
It was also who I was with. It was a date. I did get a second date, so that was good. So
Yeah, nice.
maybe it wasn't even that expensive. I paid for her ticket and my ticket, and then we grabbed dinner, and I got a second date. And after that, it didn't work, but at least I got a second date. Um, but it's progress. Given that I haven't been in the dating world in like a year and a half, so it's a good entry point. So story five worked for me. Um,
Nice.
so I was happy about it. But Paul was teasing me about that too. He said, "Oh, did you take a guy out?" I'm like, "No, Paul." So there you go. But again, everybody should just get hammered. Getting hammered and watching SummerSlam will be the answer.
I don't drink. All my medical conditions, I don't drink.
So do some weed
Are you buying? I'll do some weed if you're buying.
or cocaine or
Oh
heroin
God, not the cocaine.
or some Molly. I don't know. Figure out your drug of choice. I'm not a weed guy. I want to make that crystal clear. I like my alcohol. And tomorrow, me and my friends are gonna basically buy a case of Twisted Tea. That's what we're gonna do. So yeah, that's the plan. Everybody gets drunk. Every time somebody falls off a ladder, you take a shot. Have you
Oh
ever
my
done that?
God.
Have you ever done the Royal Rumble drinking game?
No.
I think I did that once.
Every time there's an entrance, you take a sip.
I think we did it anytime anyone went out.
Yeah,
That's
that's another one too. Or anytime there's like a double elimination.
uh
So there's a lot of good ones, but I digress. So yeah, but I figure I'll give everybody a chance to promote themselves. 'Cause I think we systematically destroyed SummerSlam.
Yeah.
So where can everybody find themselves, promote themselves, all that fun stuff?
I'm on Facebook at I am Kevin Davis CEO and Instagram at I am Kevin Davis Official. That's where I'm mostly active on, and my YouTube is called Keversol, and also my TikTok is called Keversol as well. So
I don't do YouTube anymore like I used to. I don't. I am on Facebook, Paul Gomez 740. I'm on Instagram and Twitter. I think I don't really check those, but once a week. Other than that, just around. I'll be I'll be doing a writers convention in about a month in September in Oklahoma, but nothing really people go out to. I don't think.
Yeah, and I am obviously Andrew Davis. I do a lot of fun stuff. I am Pop Anime Comics, somewhat on Twitter. I also have another Twitter. His name is King9 because I got suspended on Twitter. It's a long story for a different day. It's a fascinating story though, nonetheless. But you can still follow me on Pop Anime Comics on Twitter, Pop Anime Comics on Instagram, Pop Anime Comics on Facebook, Pop Anime Comics on YouTube, Pop Anime Comics on TikTok. I run an eBay store right here for everybody to check it out. Look for comics and collectibles. Come shop with us on eBay. I do that, and I typically sell cards like this in my eBay store. As soon as it pops up, I sell stuff like this in my eBay store. I sell books like this in my eBay store. So stuff like this as well. And then I do sell high-end cards like this in my eBay store as well. They sell out fast. And I do have these in my eBay store right now. Some limited 30 edition Caitlin Clark cards of her being the first player to have 40 points and 10 assists in a game. So yeah, super cool stuff. Super expensive stuff. But I also sell $4 cards too. So I sell anything from $1,000 cards all the way to down to $4 and everything in between. So if you're looking for cars, looking for collectibles, all that fun stuff, I got you covered. And you can come bother me. And yeah, I don't bite. And you can always make me an offer for something, and I will be very polite. And I'll say, look, I just can't do that price, or I'm looking for a little bit more. It's very, simple. I will not take your head off. I promise. So that's everything I got going on. And yeah, so SummerSlam starting around 6 o'clock tomorrow. Everybody go enjoy it. I might be live tweeting about it. I don't know. And I think we systematically destroyed SummerSlam, everybody. So on that note, I'm gonna end the stream. So everybody have a good night, enjoy yourselves, and try not to get into too much trouble. So peace.